back again with a request. This request came following my top picks for UK Netflix. It's a request someone's asked me for to do another top picks. This time it's of anime, that's TV anime and film anime. I know a lot of my fans might not be into anime, but when I get a request I always like to follow through with it because it shows that someone is interested in my work, has watched my work, has enjoyed it and wants to hear what I need to say about something else. So stay tuned for my top 10 anime. There's a lot of anime out there, tons of it, tons of it. It's been going on since a very long time in Japan. And I know I might upset a few people by leaving quite big ones out or not liking what I've got at number 1 or anything, but this is my top 10. There's a lot out there, but this is my top 10 and it's what I think that people getting into anime should watch. So right, let's start. In at number 10. In at number 10 is Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z, I was a big fan of this as a child. I used to watch it on a channel called Nickelodeon when I got home from school. And it's pretty simple, good versus evil. It follows our hero Goku, who is a specialist in martial arts and has learned to channel his chi into quite devastating moves and finishing moves. He works with the Z Warriors, whose job it is to protect Earth from evil aliens. So it's a good, old-fashioned good versus evil. This was great for kids. It was made for kids because it shows a lot about teamwork, how to work as a team. So in at number 9 is a movie. This movie is Ninja Scroll. Very old anime movie. It was one of the first anime movies I actually watched. It's quite an adult anime. Lots of gore, lots of sexual references and sexual content. Quite a horrible rape scene in it. If people don't like that kind of thing, I thought I'd just put it out there. But quite a good storyline. It starts by some evil forces invading an emperor's land. So the emperor sends out his troops to fight them. His troops include his daughter, the princess, who ends up getting captured by these evil spiritual forces. And we see our hero, our male protagonist, who gets caught up in all of it, or pretty much gets blackmailed into helping. He's poisoned by an old man and told if he doesn't help, he won't be getting the antidote. So that's quite a decent storyline. It's quite a twist on your normal hero storyline. This is a hero that's sort of been dragged into it and has to fight himself and then ends up falling in love with the princess. On to number 8. At number 8 we have another film. This is Ghost in the Shell. Quite a popular anime and has been held as one of the best animes of all time. I said in at number 8 for me. It's a very good anime, but there's lots of anime out there. That's why it's in at number 8. This follows a team of police in the future when most of the crime is now cybercrime. Everything's computerized, everything's digital. Quite a bleak look at our future and where we're going with YouTube videos and stuff like that. And one of the police officers is a cyborg. So they're tasked to find a hacker called the Puppet Master, who is using other cyborgs to do his dirty work. Number 7, and we're back on TV series. This is a TV series called Bleach. I got into this a few years back and has been really addicted to it. It came out along with a load of other animes at the same time. Naruto, I was never a big fan of, never got into. A lot of people say you was either Bleach or you were Naruto. I got into Bleach. Bleach was a great story about a young child called Ichigo, teenage child, whose family, got quite a strange family. One of his sisters is able to speak and talk to ghosts, and so is Ichigo. A lot of people think it's quite weird, he sees ghosts everywhere. One day he sees this giant spirit chasing one of the ghosts, trying to eat one of his ghosts. So he comes into contact with a Shinigami. A Shinigami, that's sort of like the Grim Reaper in British terms. But I mean, this is a different portray of a Shinigami. This is a young lady dressed in sort of samurai fighting clothes and has a weapon called a Zanpakuto, and her job is to keep spirits safe and send spirits onto the afterworld. Ichigo gets drawn into this when Rukia gives him her Shimigami powers. So he's the first living Shinigami Soul Reaper. So in at number 6 is a anime TV show that only lasted one season, but was wrapped up in one season, so it's not like there's any bits missing. And that is Elfin Lead, a great TV show, anime series that follows a young lady that's been fully weaponized to be used as a weapon of war. She escapes from her facility where she's been held and tested on, and they send an assassin after her to track her down and stop her from killing. The assassin and her get into a fight. She ends up with a head injury and can't remember who she is. She's taken in by a young man and his sister and looked after. It's a great idea of the storyline. We've got the hero slash villain that she is, with a dual personality. One, she can't speak, and she's an innocent young lady who's scared of everything, scared of the world, needs to be looked after. And the other side of her personality is the weaponized killing machine. Very gory anime, great storyline, well worth a watch. So in at number 5 is an anime film by the name of Jin Ho, The Wolf Brigade. There's been quite a lot of adaptations of this. There's been a comic book, there's been a film which was absolutely appalling, the live action movie. But the anime film is amazing, well worth a watch. This is a film that follows our character that is part of the military police. He's in a special unit known as Cerberus. They wear tactical armour, and they are fighting some rioting that's going on in Japan over the current government and current financial climate. Our lead character is sent down into the sewers to stop the rioters from sending bombs through, because they're bombing parts of Japan. When he comes across a runner, which is a young lady with a bomb on her, who's taken it from one place to another. She is a very young lady, probably age of about between 10 and 13. He comes across her, she stops, and he's for a split second he doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know whether to shoot her. He tries to speak to her, and she sets the bomb off. This man is emotionally scarred. He's then sent in for therapy. He's taken off active duty. He tries to find out more about this girl and finds out that she has a sister who's a little bit older but looks very similar to this girl. He comes into a bond with this young lady, and then he starts to think, is what he's doing for the government, is it the right thing? Is it a good idea? Should he be swapping sides? It's a great anime with a twist in it that you don't see coming. It's definitely a great anime that I'll watch again and again. In at number 4, we have Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is an anime that I recently watched again. I watched it years ago. I recently watched it again on Netflix, and I forgot how good this anime is. It follows two brothers, the Elric brothers, who are alchemists. So basically, they're very good at magic. And it's set in the past era, and there's been a great war where the government, it's sort of like a dictatorship, have state alchemists used in the army, using magic in the army. It's a great idea of a anime that's really dark but still there for kids. Got some great comedy in it. Basically, the Elric brothers lose their mother due to illness, and their dad has abandoned them. So as very young alchemists, they try the taboo of trying to bring her back to life. In all alchemists, this is known as something you don't do. You try and recreate life. In this, what they do is they recreate the life, but in doing so, they have to give up something in exchange to bring their mother back. So unfortunately, the youngest of the Elric brothers, Alphonse, loses his whole body. The other brother loses his arm and his leg, but is able to transmute Alphonse's soul into a suit of armour before it's taken. So at the end of this, their mother comes back. It's not their mother, it's more like a zombie creature that they have to kill. So this follows mission of trying to get their bodies back and trying to put things right. They come across many forces of evil. And what I liked about this anime is it has an end. It doesn't just go on for season after season after season. It has a climax. It builds up to an end, which is good because I love animes, but stuff with Bleach, Naruto, they just go on and on. You want it to end. You want it to be, if there's no end to a story, what is the point of starting it? It's a great anime. And I think people of all age will like it, from young to adults. In at number 3 is a fantastic anime series called Death Note. A lot of anime fans have seen this. It seems like a lot of non-anime fans have heard of this. There were 2 live-action movies done in Japan of this. This is how famous this anime is. It brought in a lot of money. It was a very popular anime. It's a great idea. It's about a young main character. He's at school. He's a bit of a loser. No one really likes him. And he's walking along one day and he finds a notebook on the floor, black notebook with Death Note wrote across it in silver letters. He takes it home. As he opens it, there's a list of rules of how to use the Death Note. And in the rules it says if you write anyone's full name, they will die. They will die of a heart attack. So on the way home, he witnesses a gang of bikers that try to rape a young lady. Basically, he starts here by he tries and writes their names in the book, and they die. Our hero then, well, hero slash villain, depends how you look on it, decides he wants to clean up Japan. So he starts to write every gangster's name into his book, killing them off. All of a sudden, this sort of alerts the authorities that even though they're dying of heart attacks, there's a lot of gangsters in the area dying of sudden causes. They get a international detective in called L to try and find our character who's doing this, who's got the Death Note. It is a great puzzle style anime with twists and turns, with basically what I like about it is it's up to you, the viewer, to decide which one is the hero. Is it the detective trying to stop the young man from cleaning up the world, or is it an idyllic young man with the Death Note who's trying to change the world for the better? It's a fantastic anime, and again, it has an end. There is a beginning, there's an end. There's been books, there's been TV shows, there's been live action of this, there's been comic books of this. That is why this is at my number 3. This is a fantastic anime that will keep you gripped to your seat and wanting to watch the next episode. So my number 2, getting closer to the number 1, but in at number 2, this is a hard decision between this and number 1. This is my favourite anime TV series of all time. This is Neon Genesis Evangelion. Fantastic, blew my mind. It is so hard to explain what is going on here. Again, a very popular anime that's had a recent reboot and making new movies of this, retelling the TV series over 3 or 4 movies I think they're doing, with very modern drawings, updating all the drawings with computers to make it the colours more fresh. But this is a fantastic anime TV series. Basically, it's giant robots fighting giant monsters called angels to stop the end of the world. That's all I can really tell you. It is quite confusing, but great and fantastic. The characters you just fall in love with. There's a lot of passion. One of the main characters is quite whiny, but you learn to go along with it. It's what makes it good. He's a main character that is a little bit whiny, is a little bit of a nerd, one you just want to slap and feel like he can't be the hero of this, but turns out to be the hero of it, and finds himself. It's about finding himself and achieving what he needs to do to save the world. So last but not least, my number 1. If you have watched the rest of this video, you might be able to guess what my number 1 is if it hasn't appeared. It's got to be the most famous anime of all time. Anime fans have watched this, non-anime fans have watched this. It's got reviews by everyone, and that is Akira. This is one of the best anime movies of all time. Personally, one of my favourite movies of all time. It is just fantastic. A great sci-fi storyline, great drawings, and just the atmosphere that this movie brings to you as watching it is fantastic. And if it weren't for this anime movie, I don't think we'd have some of the anime that's out there now. I do believe this sort of plays in with Dragon Ball Z and other animes, and if there wouldn't have been one without the other, put it that way. Akira is a must see again for anime or non-anime fans. It's a movie that needs to be seen to believe. Again, it's set in the future after Japan has a nuclear problem and it's rebuilding. So Japan's rebuilding, and the military is doing some tests on some people that have been born after this nuclear problem with sort of more psychic powers to try and use them as weapons. So that concludes my top 10 anime. If you like this, please share, subscribe, pass it on. If there's any more recommendations, please contact me. I'm always happy to go through recommendations of movies or reviews of new movies, TV series, or anime, anything. I will review anything TV or film. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. So let's see if I can make myself a couple of million. Cool. With the tits on there.